Hello students, in last class we already studied about alternating current. What is alternating current, what is its mean value or average value, and how to find out the mean value of an sinusoidally varying alternating current, and what is the RMS value or root mean square value of an alternating current, and what are the relation between mean value, peak value and RMS value of an alternating current. Clear? So just have a quick revision that a alternating current generally is a time varying current which changes its direction with respect to time. Its magnitude may change or remain constant, or we generally deals with the alternating current of the type which is given as the at any instant time t, the alternating current value will be I naught sin omega t, where omega is the angular frequency of the alternating current, t is the instantaneous time, and I naught is the peak value. Similarly, the instantaneous alternating EMF will be given as E naught sin omega t, where E naught is the peak value. Clear? And the mean value, I mean of alternating current will be 2 I naught by pi, or this will be nearly called 0.636 I naught for a particular half cycle which is varies from 0 to t by 2 time period, and for complete cycle this is for half cycle, and for complete cycle it is 0. Whereas IRMS is equal to I naught by root 2, which is a 0.707 I naught for both half and full cycle. Clear? We are already studied about this. So today we are going to discuss phasor diagrams, which is very important in the study of alternating current. So what is phasor diagram? So in phasor diagram, the function E or I equal to I naught sin omega t or E equal to E naught sin omega t, which is a time varying sinusoidal relation, can be represented by two vector quantities, and these two vector quantities represent the alternating EMF or alternating current which are rotating in a uniform circular motion in anti-clockwise sense, and the angular velocity of the rotation of the vector is equivalent to the angular frequency of the alternating EMF or alternating current, and the length of the vector is equivalent to the peak value or amplitude of that alternating EMF or alternating current. Clear? That means if here is a equation, the instantaneous current is represented as I naught sin omega t. So this can be represented by a vector quantity okay. So here the equation is represented by a vector quantity. This is a vector. The length of this vector represents the peak value I naught, and it's rotating about the center O in anti-clockwise sense like this with angular velocity omega, which is equivalent to the angular frequency of the alternating current. At any instant t, this is the angle or phase of the vector. So this angle will be omega t. As at it moving with angular velocity omega, this is the position O, and this will be the mean position 0. This will be the t by 4. This will be t by 2. This is 3t by 4. Again this will be t. Or in term of phase, if this is 0, this will be pi by 2. This will be pi. This is 3 pi by 2. Again this is 2 pi. So the vector starts rotating from this position, and at t equal to 0 it must be at here if phase is 0. So at t equal to 0 the phase will be 0, so the vector is at here, and at any instant t it will be cover omega t distance, so the vector is at here. So the length of the vector which is rotating with angular velocity omega, which is equivalent to the angular frequency of the sinusoidal function, this one okay, and its projection about the vertical line at any instant gives the instantaneous value. This is the vertical projection, it will give the instantaneous value it, because this is I naught, this is omega t, so this will be how much? It equal to I naught sin omega t. Clear? So this diagram, this is the circular path in which the vector is rotating and in anti-clockwise direction like this. So this figure or diagram is known as what? Phasor diagram for the sinusoidally varying alternating current. Similarly, we can represent this for alternating EMF also. E at t equal to E naught sin omega t. Clear? So phasor diagram is what? In phasor diagram, the alternating current or alternating EMF are represented by a vector which is rotating in anti-clockwise sense with angular velocity equivalent to the angular frequency of the alternating current or alternating EMF, and the length of the vector is equivalent to the peak value of the alternating current or alternating EMF or the amplitude of the alternating current or alternating EMF, and the center of the circular path is considered as the mean position. Clear? And at t equal to 0, the particle starts from the horizontal positive x-axis. Here it will start t equal to 0. If the phase initial phase is 0, it will start from here and it starts rotating like this in anti-clockwise sense with angular velocity omega, and this diagram is known as phasor diagram. At any instant, the projection of the vector along the vertical axis will give us what? The instantaneous value of the alternating EMF or alternating current. Clear? You have to remember this. So phasor diagram is a diagram in which the alternating current and alternating EMF are represented by two vectors or a single vector. If you are representing differently, or if you are representing both in a single phasor diagram, they will be represented two separate vectors. Okay, so in generally the alternating EMF and alternating current are represented by vectors, and these vectors are rotating in anti-clockwise sense, and the length of the vector is equivalent to the amplitude or peak value of the alternating current or alternating EMF, and at any instant the projection of the vector about the vertical axis will give us what? The instantaneous value. Here O is the mean position and the vector starts rotating at t equal to 0 if initial phase is 0 from positive x-axis. Clear? This is respond to the position 0. This is t by 4. Here it is t by 2. Here it is 3t by 4. So if we are starting from here, this value will be 0. This will be cos I naught. Again this will be 0. This will be minus I naught. Again this will be 0 for alternating current. This is the value of positive maximum. This is the value of negative maximum, and O be the what? Mean position. Clear? So this is a phasor diagram in which we can represent the alternating EMF or alternating current. Clear? You have to remember some point in phasor diagram. Alternating current and alternating EMF are represented by vectors. The length of the vector is equivalent to peak value of alternating current or alternating current EMF. Clear? Next point, you have to remember this figure. Okay, the vectors are executing uniform circular motion with angular velocity equal to angular frequency of alternating current or alternating current EMF. Clear? Next, the projection of the vectors on the vertical axis at any instant gives the instantaneous value next the sense of rotation is of the vectors are anti-clockwise sense and center of the circular path is take as origin or mean position. Okay, clear? These are some points you have to remember regarding the phasor diagram. Okay, so now we have to deal with some circuit elements in AC. So basically we already studied that in a circuit there are three basic elements or components that we are studied till now. One is resistor, then capacitor, then inductor. These are basically three basic components or elements we are used in a electrical circuit. So how these three will behave when they are used in a circuit having alternating EMF source? Clear? So we will study one by one separately, then we will study their combinations in a circuit. Okay, so first discuss if a circuit have a resistor only, then how it will behave towards the alternating source. So it is known as first resistive circuit or circuit having resistance only. Okay, so first draw a circuit which have a resistor and connected with a alternating source. This is resistance R, and at any instant the alternating source will provide an EMF E equal to E naught sin omega t, for which current I is flowing through it. Clear? So this is a circuit which is containing only a resistor and attached with a alternating source of EMF E equal to E naught sin omega t. E naught is the peak value of the alternating EMF, and at any instant I be the current flowing through this circuit. So by applying Kirchhoff's loop rule, so applying Kirchhoff's voltage law, we will get what? If I am considering the Kirchhoff's voltage law starting from here, so it will be E minus along this direction, the potential difference will be IR equal to 0. So from this we can write this implies E equal to IR, or this implies I equal to E by R. Clear? But we know what is E? E equal to E naught sin omega t. Clear? Because this is the value of the alternating EMF. So E equal to E naught sin omega t. So using 2 in 1, we will get what? I equal to E naught sin omega t by R. Question 3. Clear? So the current I will be maximum, that is I max, only when I tends to I max, only when here E naught by R is constant. It's depending upon this factor sin omega t. So I will be I max only when sin omega t will be maximum, that is plus or minus 1. So this implies I tends to I max, which is equal to plus or minus E naught by R. So let plus or minus E naught by R is equal to plus or minus I naught, which is equal to I max. Clear? So here E naught by R is the maximum value of alternating current. So this implies we write what? I equal to I naught sin omega t, where I naught equal to how much? E naught by R. This is equation 4. Clear? So here I naught equal to E naught by R. This is the maximum value of alternating current, and this is the expression for time varying alternating current at any instant I, and this is the expression for EMF at any instant t, and this is the current at any instant t. So now comparing equation 2 and 4, if at any instant t this is the value of alternating EMF, then at that instant this is the value of alternating current, and this term gives us the initial position, that is phase. Omega t is the phase. So comparing equation 2 and 4, we will get what? The alternating EMF and alternating current both are at same phase, because here the phase is omega t and here is also the phase is omega t. So at same instant, where is the current, instantaneous current? That the position for the instantaneous EMF. Clear? So from equation 2 and 4 we conclude that the instantaneous alternating current and alternating EMF both are in same phase. So if we are drawing the phasor diagram for this, like here, this is origin O, here it is 0, t by 4, t by 2, 3t by 4, t, or if I am writing the values in form of phase, this will be 0, pi by 2, this will be pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, or the values will be here, it will be 0, here it will be plus I naught, again 0, and it will be minus I naught. Clear? Or for alternating EMF, if I am representing the EMF also in this figure, 0, this will be plus E naught, 0, this will be minus E naught. Clear? So at any instant t, the E will be E naught sin omega t. So if I am representing the E here, at any instant t, this is the value of E naught, and it's rotating like this. Okay, and this is the phase omega t. So the projection on the x-axis, this will be E, this length will be E. Clear? And at same instant, what is the value for I? I will be also I naught sin omega t. So this is the expression for I. This is I naught, and this the projection, this length will be what? I, which is equal to I naught sin omega t. So from this, as these two are in same phase, this is the phasor diagram for E and I naught. Clear? And the vertical projection of the vectors along the vertical axis will give us the instantaneous value. If this is I naught, this is omega t, it will be I naught sin omega t. If this is E naught, this will be E naught sin omega t. Clear? And what is the wave diagram with respect to time? If I am representing these two quantities in wave diagram with respect to time, taking here E and I and here t, what will be the diagram? At time t equal to 0, this value will be 0. So the wave diagram will be like this. And similarly, at t equal to 0, I is also 0. So the graph will be like this. This is 0, t by 4, t by 2, 3t by 4, t. This value is equal to plus E naught minus E naught, and this value is equivalent to plus I naught, this value equal to minus I naught. Okay, both are in same phase, but the amplitude of peak value of current is less than that of the peak value of EMF. Why? Because as I naught equal to E naught by R, that's why the peak value of alternating current reduces R times with respect to the peak value of alternating EMF. That's why the peak value or amplitude of alternating EMF is larger than that of the amplitude of alternating current, which is reduced by the resistance times, R times. That's why the peak value here compressed in comparison to the alternating EMF. Both are in same phase. That means when the value of the alternating EMF will be maximum, at that instant the value of alternating current is also maximum. When the alternating EMF will be 0, at the particular instant the alternating current will be 0, as both are in same phase. Clear? So this is all about what? A circuit containing resistor only. This is the wave diagram with respect to time. This is the phasor diagram, and these are the calculations I already done. Okay, next we will discuss if a circuit have a capacitor only. Circuit having capacitor only or capacitive circuit. So for this, now consider a circuit which have a capacitor and attached with a alternating source E equal to E naught sin omega t, and the capacitance is C. Clear? So let at any instant of time Q be the charge stored within the capacitor. So if I am applying the Kirchhoff's KVL rule, applying KVL, so we will get E minus, what is the potential difference across capacitor? Q by C equal to 0. Because if C is the capacitance, Q is the charge stored within the capacitor, then its potential difference across the capacitor will be V equal to Q by C. So E minus Q by C, I am considering the loop like this, current I is flowing through it. So Q will be how much? E minus Q by C equal to 0. So what is the value of current? So from this we will get, this implies Q by C equal to E. So this implies Q equal to E into C. But we know, let it be equation 1. But we know E equal to how much? E naught sin omega t. So now using 2 in 1 we will get Q equal to E naught C sin omega t, equation 3. Then what is the value of current? As I equal to dq by dt. So differentiating equation 3 with respect to time, we get dq by dt will be equal to d by dt of E naught C sin omega t. So this implies I equal to E naught C constant, d by dt of sin omega t. So this implies I equal to E naught C d by dt sin omega t, it will be omega cos omega t. Clear? Because derivative of sin omega t with respect to dt, by applying chain rule we will get what? This will be constant, so it will be cos omega t into omega t dt d by dt, so it will be omega cos omega t. Clear? So this implies it can be written as I equal to E naught divided 1 by omega c into cos omega t. We can write it like this. This omega c can be written as 1 by omega c. So this implies you can write I equal to E naught divided by 1 by omega c into cos omega t. Here the E is in form of sin omega t. So if we want to compare the phase, then we have to write this term in sin form. So cos omega t or cos theta can be written as sin 90 plus theta. So we can write it as sin omega t plus pi by 2. Okay, then there is a question, if I am writing cos omega t equal sin omega t plus pi by 2, this can be also written as sin 90 minus omega t. But why I can write sin 90 plus omega t? Because if here I am writing sin 90 minus omega t, then it will be difficult to compare the phase, because here the omega t is positive and here the omega t will be negative. Clear? So we already added in positive form, that's why I am writing the sin omega t plus pi by 2, that will be easy to compare the phase. So this will be the expression for I equal to E naught by 1 by omega c into sin omega t plus pi by 2, as cos omega t can be written as sin 90 plus theta. Clear? So from this, let it be equation 4. So from equation 4, I will be I maximum only when I tends to I maximum, only when this term is variable. So sin omega t plus pi by 2 equal to plus minus 1. So this means I tends to I max equal to plus minus E naught divided by 1 by omega c, or which is equal to plus minus I naught. So this implies you can write I equal to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2, equation 5. And here this is the value of I naught, which is E naught divided by 1 by omega c. So from equation where, okay, so this is the representation of instantaneous value of the current, alternating current, and this is the expression for instantaneous value of EMF. So from equation 2 and 5, we get that the alternating current is pi by 2 more in comparison to the alternating EMF. That means the alternating current leads by the alternating EMF by a phase of pi by 2. Clear? Because here is the phase is omega t, here is the phase is omega t plus pi by 2. That means the alternating current is lead the alternating EMF by a phase of pi by 2. And where I naught is what? Here I naught is equal to E naught divided by 1 by omega c, or this can be written as E naught by xc, where xc equal to 1 by omega c, known as capacitive reactance. So you have to remember this term. Okay, in capacitive circuit, I naught is equal to E naught divided by 1 by omega c, or which is E naught by xc, and xc equal to 1 by omega c, which is known as capacitive reactance. And from these two comparisons, we will get what? From equation 2 and 5, from 2 and 5, we get alternating current leads alternating EMF by a phase of pi by 2. Clear? This is phase difference between these two will be how much? Pi by 2, and alternating current leads the alternating EMF by a phase of pi by 2. So now what will be the phasor diagram and wave diagram for these two? So if I am plotting the phasor diagram, now I am not drawing the phasor diagram in detail. I am just showing you the situation. So this you already know, this is 0, t by 4, 3t by 2, sorry, t by 4, t by 2, 3t by 4, again it is t, and this is the value of plus I naught, minus I naught or minus E naught, this is plus I naught or E naught, this is 0. So at t equal to 0, what is the expression for E? E equal to E naught sin omega t for capacitive circuit, and I equal to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2. So if at t equal to 0 or at any instant, this is the position for E naught. Here this is E omega t, this is E naught. Then at that instant, what is the position for I? It will be pi by 2 ahead. So from this, if this is the position for E naught and this is E, so from here it will be pi by 2 ahead. So this will be I naught and this is I. From here it will be pi by 2 ahead. That means the alternating current is leads by the alternating EMF by pi by 2 radian. Clear? This is the phasor diagram for capacitive circuit. Okay. So now what is the wave diagram? If this is the diagram for alternating EMF, 0, t by 4, t by 2, 3t by 4, t. Then alternating current is at, if I am putting t equal to 0 here, it will be how much? I naught, pi by 2, sin pi by 2 is equal to 1, I naught. So the t equal to 0, it will be I naught. Okay, this is the expression for what? Alternating current. Here it is E naught, this is I naught, here this is minus E naught, minus I naught. Clear? This will be the graph for alternating current and this will be the wave graph for alternating EMF. Here it is T, here it is E and I. Clear? This will be the wave diagram for the alternating EMF and alternating current in capacitive circuit, and this is their phasor diagram. Clear? So next discuss what is capacitive reactance in detail. Now let's discuss about capacitive reactance. So as we already studied in capacitive circuit, I equal to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2 and E equal to E naught sin omega t, where I naught equal to E naught by xc and here xc equal to 1 by omega c. Okay. Xc is known as what? Capacitive reactance. So it's equal to how much? 1 by omega c, or this can be written as Xc equal to 1 by 2 pi f into c, where f is frequency, here omega is angular frequency, as omega equal to 2 pi f, we already know. So it have magnitude. So capacitive reactance, current equal to potential by resistance. So Xc have same unit and dimension as that of resistance. Xc have same unit and dimensions as that of resistance. Okay, that is SI unit, the unit is ohm, Clear? So here x is equal to 2 pi f into c. So in AC it have some frequency, but in DC there is no frequency. So you have to remember what is the graph for xc with respect to frequency, a for omega. If I are plotting the graph of xc with respect to frequency or omega, it is inversely proportional, 1 by omega c, inversely proportional. So the graph will be like this. Clear? This is the graph for xc with respect to frequency or angular frequency. Okay. So from here we will get what? If the frequency will be more, the capacitive reactance is less. If the frequency is less, the capacitive reactance will be more. So for DC, you have to remember this. This is the graph, this is the relation, and this is unit and dimension same as that of resistance. Next, you have to remember some points regarding capacitive reactance. For DC, that is direct current, F or omega equal to 0, because DC is a constant, it have no frequency. So for DC, F or omega equal to 0. So this implies we can write xc equal to how much? 1 by f0, then 1 means 0, it will be infinite. So capacitor behaves as an open circuit. Okay, that means if it is a here condition, so it will behave as like this, because the capacitive reactance is infinite. Again, for SC, XC has some finite value, because SC have some frequency or angular frequency, so this XC have some finite value, but less frequency input, for less frequency XC is more, because it is inversely proportional to frequency. So if the input alternating EMF have less frequency, so XC is more, so it will behave as a open circuit. For SC also less frequency. Okay, next, for high frequency, XC is less because it is inversely proportional, so it will behave as a closed circuit like this, high frequency. So you have to remember these points, that if for DC XC is infinite, so it will behave as a open circuit. For SC, XC has some finite value. If for AC is of less frequency, XC is more, so it will behave as a open circuit. For high frequency, XC is less, so it will behave as a closed circuit. Clear? So this is all about capacitive reactance and capacitive circuit, or circuit containing capacitor only. Next we will discuss if a circuit have only an inductor or inductive circuit. Inductive circuit. That means here is a circuit which have an inductor or a coil only. It is attached with a alternating source, E equal to E naught sin omega t. At any instant, I be the current and this is the inductance of the inductor. Then if you are applying the KVL again in this circuit like this, So applying KVL, we will get what? E minus the potential difference across inductor will be L into di by dt. You already studied, equal to 0. So this implies you will get L di by dt equal to E. So this implies di by dt will be equal to E by L. So this implies di equal to how much? E by L into dt. It will be equation 1. Clear? Okay, so what is di? Di equal to E by L into dt. But we know what is E? E equal to E naught sin omega t, equation 2. So using 2 in 1 we will get di equal to E naught sin omega t by L into dt. So this implies, now integrating both sides, we will get di over integration, it will be E naught by L sin omega t dt integration. So this will gives us I equal to E naught by L omega sin E minus cos omega t. Clear? So this implies I can be written as minus E naught by L omega into cos omega t will be written as in form. To compare these two phases, we have to write down cos omega t in term of sin omega t. Here is a negative sign, so I can write it as sin pi by 2 minus omega t. So when I will take the negative sign, because I know sin minus theta will be minus sin theta, so this can be written as I equal to E naught by L omega, taking negative into the bracket, sin omega t minus pi by 2. Clear? Okay, let it be equation 3. Now I tends to I max, or this is I naught, when sin omega t minus pi by 2 equal to plus or minus 1. So this implies I naught equal to how much? Plus or minus E naught by L omega, or this implies you can write I naught equal to plus or minus E naught by XL, where XL equal to L omega. This is not the inductive reactance. Clear? So here I naught equal to plus or minus E naught by XL. So we can write I at any instant will be how much? So you have to remember here the XL is equal to how much? L omega, which is known as inductive reactance. So what is the value of I? So I equal to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. This is equation 4. So now comparing equation 2 and 4, we will get what? The alternating current is lag behind the alternating EMF by pi by 2 phase. Clear? Comparing these two, we will get this is the phase for alternating current, this is the phase for alternating EMF, and from these two equations by comparing we will get what? The alternating current is lag behind the alternating EMF by pi by 2 radian, because this is omega t minus pi by 2, this is omega t. Clear? And where I naught is equal to how much? E naught by XL, XL equal to L omega, which is known as inductive reactance. So now if we are plotting the phasor diagram and wave diagram, so it will be like this. This is I and E equal to E naught sin omega t. So I am drawing the phasor diagram. So the phasor diagram will be like this: 0, t by 4, t by 2, 3t by 4, t. This is I naught, E naught, 0, minus E naught, minus I naught. So at origin, so at t equal to 0, what is the value of E? 0. So if this is the position for E naught and this is the position for E, this angle is omega t, then what is the position I naught? It is pi by 2 behind this, so I naught will be at here. From this position pi by 2 lag behind, so I naught will be here. This is the position of I naught. This is I, pi by 2 radian behind, lag behind what? E. So this is the phasor diagram for what? They are rotating like this. E naught or instantaneous EMF is always leads the alternating current by pi by 2 radian, or the alternating current is lag behind the alternating EMF by pi by 2 radian always, and the wave diagram will be like this. E and I, and this is T. So at T equal to 0, what is the value of E? Equal to 0. This is E naught minus E naught, T 0, T by 4, T by 2, 3T by 4, T. What is the value of I at 0? It is minus pi by 2 if T equal to 0. Sin minus pi by 2, it will be minus sin pi by 2, the minus I, it will be minus I naught. So at T equal to 0, this will be minus I naught. So the wave diagram will be like this. Clear? Okay. So this is minus I naught. This is plus I naught. So this will be the wave diagram for inductive circuit, phasor diagram for inductive circuit. Clear? Current lag behind the alternating EMF by pi by 2 radian. Okay. So now also, what is inductive reactance? Or XL, as we know, I naught equal to E naught by L omega, or this can be written as E naught by XL, where XL equal to L omega is known as inductive reactance. So I equal to V by R. So XL have unit and dimension sorry, as that of resistance. Clear? Because this is also resistance XL. So we can write XL equal to L omega, or this can be written as 2 pi FL. Omega equal to 2 pi FL. So this is the value of XL. So it is the graph between XL and omega ref. Directly proportional. So it will be like this. Clear? XL is directly proportional to frequency or angular frequency. Okay. So for less frequency, for what is the value of XL for DC? As DC have 0 frequency, so value of XL is 0 for DC. And what is the value for AC? It have some finite value. For DC, XL equal to 0. For AC, XL have some finite value. Clear? So for high frequency, XL is more, so it behaves as open circuit like this. High frequency. Clear? If I are applying high frequency, XL is directly proportional to frequency, so XL will be maximum. If resistance will be maximum, it will behave as a open circuit. Similarly, For low frequency, XL is less, so it will behave as a closed circuit. XL is less, as it is directly proportional, XL is less, so behaves as a closed circuit like this. Okay, low frequency. So we have to remember this term. XL is 0 for DC. For AC, XL have some finite value. For high frequency, XL is more, behaves as a open circuit. For low frequency, XL is less, behaves as a closed circuit. These are low frequency, this is for high frequency, the SC. Okay, these are will be SC. And this is the graph for XL with respect to omega and F. This is the phasor diagram and wave diagram. So this is all about inductive circuit, capacitive circuit and resistive circuit. Okay, and their phasor diagram, wave diagram, and the term related how they are in same phase, how current is lag behind EMF by the phase. Clear? So in next class we will discuss their combinations. Okay, thank you.